In this demo, we'll walk through how to set up a connection to the BLM feature service in ArcCatalog once you're supplied credentials as a registered user. The first thing you'll need to do is open ArcCatalog on the computer that you'll be connecting to the service from. Once it's open, highlight the GIS servers folder from the catalog tree, and you'll see a list of any existing connections you have to ArcGIS servers, or none if you haven't set up any yet. Next, you're going to double-click on the Add ArcGIS Server item, which will launch a connection setup wizard. In the first window, leave the Use GIS Services button checked, since this is not a server you will be publishing to or administering, and then click Next. The second window is where you'll enter the connection information supplied to you by email when you became a registered user. So this is an example of the email that you receive, and under the first section in item 1 here is where all the connection information is listed. You can copy and paste all of this information into the ArcCatalog window. So first you'll enter the server address. Next you'll enter the username, which in this case is just a test account. And last you'll enter the password, which is unique to each registered user. And once that's entered, click Finish, and the connection will be added to the ArcCatalog window. Generally, it's a good idea to rename the connection using the convention account@servername. And this way, when you have multiple connections, it lets you see what each one connects to. So in this case, I'm going to rename it BLM Test A, which is the username of the account, at NatureServe MJD. You could enter the actual server name there, but since you don't know it, we'll just add a descriptive name of what it's connecting to. To test the connection that you created, double-click it, and if it's successful, there should be a BLM folder visible. If you open this folder, you should see a service called BLM MJD Feature Service. Note that there are 2 items in here with the same name. This is because a feature service is an enhanced version of a map service, and when you publish a feature service, it automatically creates a companion map service as well. When adding the service to ArcMap, when you're ready to use it, it's important to choose the feature service version in order to have the full functionality of the service. Once the connection is successfully created, you can open an ArcMap window and add the service to it. One option is to use the Add Data button and navigate to the GIS server connection. If you double-click the connection, you'll see the BLM folder. And if you open the folder, to make sure that you're adding the feature service and not the map service, you'll need to highlight the connection that has a feature server suffix at the end. So this should be the second one that you see. The first one has a map server suffix at the end. Making sure the feature server connection is highlighted, click the Add button, and the service will appear in the table of contents with the EO layer, the source feature layers, the BLM administrative units layer, and a state boundary layer. A second way to add the feature service to an ArcMap project is to simply drag it in from an ArcCatalog session. If you do this, again, just be careful to select the feature service and not the map service when you add it to the table of contents. Notice that all of the individual layers are checked, but the service itself is turned off. The service is published this way intentionally so that ArcMap doesn't try to draw all the layers as soon as it is added to your ArcMap project. The service itself does need to be checked before any of the layers will draw. Before doing that, however, definition queries should be applied to the layers and/or zoom extents should be set first. The EO and source feature data layers are too large to be drawn in their entirety without applying these kinds of filters first. If you turn on the service before doing that, it will time out. For information and demos about how to effectively apply filters to the service layers, please refer to the second section of this tutorial, Utilizing the Service.